Hellions issue 1 heads to San Francisco, where X-Force battles the Hellfire cult, whom, as Havoc soon learns, are in the middle of a weapons deal. Nightcrawler thinks the military-grade weapons they found in the van were stolen, but Havoc knows that the guys they caught are just idiots, not thieves, and it's more likely they are lackeys for some rich bigot who is planning something for the upcoming anniversary of the Mutant massacre. Kurt warns Havoc it's dangerous to assume that everyone is out to get them, but Havoc isn't interested in learning more from Kurt's Bible studies. The van suddenly explodes as one of the men fires a rocket at it, revealing it was all a trap. The men grab Havoc, wanting their leader to bleed him out, but Havoc laughs, firing his energy blasts at them and telling them that he's going to have fun with them. The cult members say that he's not scared of Havoc as he grabs him, unleashing his energy into the man's head. Wolverine arrives and grabs Havoc, having Rockslide restrain the mutant who seems confused. Jean and the others arrive, smelling the man's burning flesh as Havoc asks what happened. Later on Krakoa, the Quiet Council convene and talk about who is allowed on Krakoa, with Eric reminding everyone that every mutant is allowed on the island. Mr. Sinister and Exodus begin to argue about that, but Emma quiets them down as they get to the task at hand. What to do with the imprisoned Wild Child, Nanny, Orphan Maker, Scalp Hunter, and Empath, who says that he was just having fun. Empath has his crimes recited to him, showing that he used his powers on mutants who tried to stop a fight between some of the other mutants, getting the mutants to cheer on the battle and fight Jetstream. Nanny and Orphan Maker's crimes meanwhile include attacking Angel and Beast after Orphan Maker throws a tantrum, forcing Beast to release Nanny to look after Peter and sing him a lullaby to make him fall asleep. In the Healing Garden, Sage and Dr. Reyes talk about how Wild Child killed a boar, and when a young mutant tried to help the animal, Kyle slashed the child up. Sage reveals some medication developed by Department H that should help Kyle keep his wolfman tendencies in check. Going to visit Kyle and deliver his medication, they find that he's actually been burying the pills they've been giving him and not taking them, causing him to violently attack the women. Elsewhere on the island, Scalp Hunter cleans his weapons when he's confronted by a group of Morlocks, who say that they remember the anniversary of the Mutant massacre. Cocking his gun, the mutant attacks John, who in the present is told by Storm he attacked a defenseless group of Morlocks, asking if he caused them enough pain. John doesn't think he has, as Charles finds it troubling that they gave predatory mutants a home, but Eric says that it's their responsibility to make a place for them. Mr. Sinister stops the talking, knowing that he saw someone else in the shadows behind the group, so the chained up Havoc steps forward. Scott yells at Alex to get out of there, angered the council would put his brother in the circle of judgment without telling him. Storm reminds him that this is the business of the council, and Scott is not on the council, so Jean tells Scott that Alex put 3 humans in the hospital, 2 of which have lost limbs and 1 has been disfigured. Alex apologizes since he cannot remember doing any of that, and Kurt says that he was going to kill the men, and he would have had Logan not intervened. Eric says that if he had killed them that he would be thrown into the pit, and Scott knows that if that were to happen, he would have no choice but to defend his brother. Mr. Sinister tells everyone to calm down, since he's there to save the day. He tells the council that the criminals are just square pegs trying to fit into round holes, and instead of resorting to human solutions like medication or incarceration, they should use these criminals' madness to their advantage. Apocalypse grows tired of Sinister's theatrics, wanting him to get to the point, so Sinister says that these mutants, save for Havoc, only know carnage and violence, and it's the best way they express their gifts. So who are they to deny them that? Charles and Eric consider Sinister's words as Scott can't believe what Sinister proposes. Jean says that they will take Scott's objections into consideration as the council decides what to do with Sinister's plans. Later, Scott meets with Psylocke, whom has read the brief about Sinister headlining a team of unstable mutants, and she is to babysit them. Scott knows that she will keep them in check by killing them, but Scott reminds her of Alex on the team, hoping she will go easy on him, but Quanon can't promise the world. Sinister meanwhile assembles his new team, telling them that this will all be fun. He passes over to Psylocke since he gets bored, so Psylocke tells the team that they will be traveling to Essex State Home for Foundlands in Nebraska to destroy a clone farm that Sinister built there a while ago. Sinister says that it's a teardown job since the place has gone amok and they need to destroy the abominations inside. Psylocke also warns them that this job isn't simple either, since there will be psychopathic mutant assassins there, so they need to be careful, and no one is to attack until she gives the order. Scalp Hunter says that Wildchild definitely won't be listening to her, but Psylocke knows that it won't be a problem. Sinister hopes that everyone is on the same page, as Alex knows that if they went back to the home for foundlings that he would destroy it, so he guesses this is good enough. Empath is happy to be leaving, but John warns him not to use his powers on any of them, since if he does, he will shoot him in the head. Nanny meanwhile threatens Mr. Sinister, telling him that she knows he likes orphans, so if he tries to take Peter away from her, he will be slapped, and slapped hard. As the team move out, John tries to wrangle Wildchild, but gets slashed for his troubles. Psylocke knows that the two will be fine thanks to their healing factors. The team all head out to the jet as Psylocke knows that Sinister isn't telling her something about the orphanage. Sinister, however, won't say, telling her that she is in for a very fraught adventure and she has no choice but to do it. So he tells the mutant to be a deer and walk into hell for him. At the home for the foundlings, a ritual is being performed by the strung up Sinister's marauders by Madame Pryor, who tells the team to sleep once again and rest for the horror to come. Hellions issue 1 was a great first issue in what is essentially Marvel setting up their own version of the Suicide Squad, but with X-Men. It has all or most of the hallmarks of a Suicide Squad, a criminal mutant group being used by a less than savory higher up boss for unsavory Black Book missions. I really enjoyed Mr. Sinister here, and I love when he gets all theatrical and plays to the room, much to the chagrin of everyone in that room. It's very funny, and I loved what they did with him in this issue. The idea that Alex Summers is kind of like a POV character in a way, with him being kind of roped into this thanks to some type of mind control, which is kind of left just there. It's just happens and then nothing really is talked about that for the rest of the issue, which kind of makes me question what the hell are they doing with that, whether that'll come up in a later issue, but they never really questioned that sort of stuff, which is very strange. That being said, I am looking forward to seeing what the team gets up to fighting the Goblin Queen at one of Sinister's cloning facilities. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.